is a show that focuses on the person behind the brony. I'm your host, Osaka Jack. Please sit back and relax as we talk to this week's guest brony. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Into the Spotlight. This is your host, Osaka Jack. With me today, I have someone who you probably have seen the artwork from, but possibly do not know yourself. LeekFish, hello.
Hi.
How are things?
Pretty good. Busy. Busy as always, but pretty good.
Yes, I understand the busy very, very much. Now, I don't think I've specifically asked, and I apologize if it's incorrect. How do you prefer to be addressed? LeekFish?
I don't really mind whichever. I've been called by my first name Christina or LeekFish or just Leek for short,
Okay.
or I mean the less common fish. It
All
just
right.
sort of happened that Leek has been common recently,
Okay.
but I don't mind whichever.
Where did the name come from, if you don't mind?
Oh
LeekFish,
gosh.
just like an onion-based fish dish or something? I don't...
Everybody always asks. So basically, what happened was a couple of years ago, I was trying to figure out a new username
Uh-huh.
because I was just, tired of my old one.
Right.
And at the time, I was being nicknamed Fish by some of my closer friends because on my birthday, we were doing a sleepover at one of my friends' houses and I was on an air mattress.
Okay.
And it was that time of night where everybody's so tired that everything is like hysterical.
Okay. Okay.
So I was flopping around on the air mattress to piss off one of my friends, and I was just like, "I'm a fish, you guys." So then that sort of happened as a name, and then when I was trying to think of a nickname, I was like, or a new username,
Mm-hmm.
I basically was looking around at stuff in my room for ideas because I was like, well, I should maybe throw fish in there, but I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
But I have quite a bit of Hatsune Miku stuff,
Okay.
and I did a cosplay of her a while back. And so I came up with LeekFish, and I was like, "That's so stupid. I have to have it."
Okay. LeekFish. I thought that it was an attempt, like when you were typing out your name, you were going for leet, like the elite thing, and just like made a typing error, but couldn't correct it quickly enough, and just decided, yeah, this is good.
No, nope.
Okay.
Yeah, it's never the answer anybody expects, which is kind of funny.
It doesn't have to be. I mean, I've had people just say, "Ah, it sounded good." Okay, then. All right, that's fine. It has a story behind it. That's interesting enough. Well, if anybody is not familiar with your work, can you kind of describe what do you do?
I mostly do a lot of digital artwork. I do some, colored pencil and also cosplay stuff as well,
Hmm.
but people would probably be more familiar with my artwork that I've done for this past year's Equestria LA, Everfree Northwest, and I also work as Sac Brony Expo's head of art and design.
Okay. And two of those three have finished already. Yay!
Yes.
So you've only got one more to go before you can, well, not relax, because I'm sure new projects will come up. But
The cycle will start again.
yes. But yeah, you've done a lot of artwork. I know that's the Equestria LA. You actually did the convention exclusive shirts.
Yes, or one of them.
One of them, right. One of them.
Yes. I did one of their exclusive shirts, as well as this one illustration that got turned into a poster that all the attendees received, and it was also on the back of the con book.
Oh, okay, okay.
And then a couple of other smaller things like signage borders, and there was going to be this giant derpy that was supposed to be crashing into one of the signs, and the
Hmm.
signage was going to be all like jumbled, you know.
Right,
But
right.
I guess they couldn't put up anything on the walls, and I'm guessing that derpy just, couldn't get put up anywhere. So
Couldn't put
unless she
anything
was
on the
around and I just never,
walls. Oh,
yeah,
what a
in the
dis.
hotel. But
Tch.
I'm going to assume it was either that was the reason or it was up somewhere and I just didn't see it.
Okay, that could be. That's
It's possible.
possible.
I was
Sure.
I was mostly at my table most of the time, so it's
Hmm.
possible.
Right. And also, a lot of your work appeared in the booklet for Everfree Northwest.
A little bit. I had a 3-page con book comic of
Hmm.
their mascot
Right.
that I did, as well as, a couple smaller things like I did an ad for their con store,
Hmm.
and then my artwork was in the Sacroni Expo ad near the end of the con book.
Right, right. Would we count that as part of Everfree or part of Sacbroni? Because it was
Probably
ever.
Sackbrony.
Yeah.
Sackbrony, but I did have to work with Everfree and their deadlines and their dimensions and stuff. But it was
That's
technically
true.
for Sackbrony.
Okay. Okay.
But I will have to make sure that Everfree likewise gets an ad in their con book. So that'll be kind of, I mean, I don't know who will be designing that ad.
Okay.
Likely our publications head for that or somebody.
Right. Right. Huh.
Because graphic design is not my area of expertise. I'm trying to get better, trying,
Hmm.
but it's mostly, I like to just draw and go with
Right.
it.
Right. I see that. Hmm. Well, I have to mention this just because the it's too much of a coincidence. I suppose that I should have realized that my OC's name would not be individual for long.
I'm so sorry about that.
No,
I
no,
had
no, no,
no
no, no,
idea.
no, 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 no. That's fine. It's just funny. For anybody who doesn't know, my OC is named Eureka, and the idea is that his cutie mark is, and his special talent is discovery, discovery of things that were previously hidden or unknown. And for Sack Brony, there are
Yes.
three mascots.
Mhm. And their names are Swift Sketch, Perfect Pitch, and Eureka.
Eureka!
It was actually funny. Those three, I actually originally designed six mascots, so two sets of three.
Okay.
And Eureka was originally part of the other batch. Well, actually, correction. Eureka was in that trio,
Okay.
but the name came from somebody else, and he was originally Gold Rush.
Ah, okay.
And but then I guess a few things happened, like they wanted some stuff changed. Like Eureka was actually originally a gaming pony,
Hmm,
and Swift
okay.
Sketch was originally Swift Pen, so she was both art and writing. But
Okay.
they wanted it just be primarily the arts.
Gotcha.
And but they were like, oh, but you picked Eureka as a name for that other one. Just pull that and plop it onto him. So I was like, okay,
Okay.
because we figured Eureka, California state motto,
Right.
means like inspiration or discovery and
Hmm, hmm.
fitting of a writer.
Sure. Sure. Okay. I could see it.
But yeah, I thought I was being individual with that too. I'm
The
sorry.
fact that you didn't know my OC means that it was just a coincidence.
Yes.
If I had found out, wait a minute, you've been watching my stuff for a year now, and wait a minute, no,
Nope.
not the case.
Hmm. My interaction with the Brony fandom has been more recent. I mean, I've been a pony fan for a while, for at least I want to say 1 or 2 years.
Right.
But as far as actual like more in-depth interaction with the fandom, it's mostly just been the past year when I started doing artwork for Sac Brony Expo and then for Equestriale, and then I got brought onto Everfree.
Mhm,
And then it was kind of like I should familiarize myself with all of these people
mhm.
so I'm not totally lost. But there's so many of just all of us that's
Yes.
so hard to keep track sometimes. But yeah, I've only started watching your show recently, so I did not know about
No
Eureka. I'm very
pressure.
sorry.
Don't worry about it. Not a big deal. Mm. Well, I'd like to mention or talk about for a bit a series that you did. They are the main six, but they're Batman Blank Eyes.
Oh, well, it was actually inspired by an anime called Gurren Lagann.
Okay, okay.
I'm not sure if you're familiar with that one.
Vaguely.
It's kind of like this over the top, ridiculous mecha anime that's kind of awesome as
Okay,
well.
gotcha.
But what happened was it started off with that Twilight print, and then I had a suggestion. Oh, you should do the rest of the Elements of Harmony.
Hmm.
So I was like, well, that sounds fun. I'll go do that because I really wanted to experiment with a heavy use of black, and that eye
Sure.
catch was kind of awesome too. So I was like, well,
Right,
let's
right, right.
try that. So I ended up drawing all of the main six,
Hmm.
and I remade Twilight because by that point my style had changed a little bit and I'd improved. So I figured, well, Twilight will look out of place if I don't, just redraw her.
Yeah.
So I remade that one, and it didn't make a whole lot of sense to me to have the rest of the main six with their eyes closed.
Okay.
That's never made sense to me in the series, I guess.
Hmm,
I
hmm,
mean, I
hmm.
guess if it's only like a 5 second thing, then sure.
Yeah.
But for the sake of the artwork, I just gave them all the same glowing eyes.
Right, right. Makes sense. Makes
Mhm.
sense. But yeah, they look cool.
Thank you.
I have to say, I have to say though, Fluttershy does look more surprised than angry or intense.
It was really difficult to do Pinkies and Fluttershies because I don't like drawing characters with expressions that don't, suit them.
Oh, bless you for
So
saying that. Yes,
it
thank you.
was very difficult to figure out how I wanted to draw Pinkie and Fluttershy because Pinkie, I can't draw her with a serious face most of the time.
Sure.
And like I finished a sketch for, or at least most of a sketch for a Heartswarming Eve print that I'm gonna hopefully be releasing at BronyCon.
Mhm.
And drawing her with an angry face was extremely unusual. It works for her because I mean I made sure I gave her, squinty eyes like she kind of does in the show when she's angry and like glaring at Applejack because she's not telling the truth or whatever.
Okay.
But but yeah, so with that series, it was just I just kind of was like, okay, here's Pinky and Fluttershy in character, I think.
I think so. I think it works. But yeah, it is one of those. "Oh, that's odd. Okay. Hmm. One of the pieces that you've done more recently was actually put up on Every Northwest's auction, the
Yes.
coronation pick.
Yes. It was an illustration I was asked to do by I think their events team
Okay.
because they were doing this royal court event for these three kids and they
Mhm.
wanted an invitation to put into their bags for their registration bags when they got their stuff.
Right.
And so they were like, would you mind coming up with something with Twilight on it? Maybe something that has a sort of regal look to it. So I was like, okay, sure.
Hmm.
And so I finished the illustration and they asked if I would be willing to submit it to their charity auction.
Hmm.
And I was like, that sounds like fun. I'll make it into a print version and we'll have at it. And because they wanted something for like the kids to auction off,
Sure.
which I thought was adorable. And I was like, all for that.
Hmm.
So the three kids signed the print as well as me, and they put it up. It was the first item out, and it raised $120, which I was pretty pleased with.
That's nice. That's not
Hmm.
bad at all.
Hmm.
Very nice.
Thank you.
So, is this a one-time thing, or will this be available at some point in the future?
It was a one of a kind print.
Okay.
It was in a smaller version on the three kids invitations, and
Hmm.
I'm just not going to print any more of it.
Right. Okay.
Aside from like maybe one for my portfolio, but
Right.
it's
Right.
not for sale, and it would be a lower quality version and that sort of thing.
Of course. Of course. Okay. So yeah, it was a one-time thing. Sorry if you didn't bid on it, you lost out.
There will be a Celestia one at BronyCon that
Oh.
I have yet to
Okay.
release.
Oh, nice. Nice.
But I did post a screen cap of it from when I was working on it in Photoshop onto Twitter,
Hmm.
I think a week or so ago.
Hmm.
And there's gonna be a little bit of a surprise coming with that one, but I don't know if I can
Ooh.
mention what it is yet, so I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just in
I've
case. No spoilers here. We'll
yes.
keep moving on.
But I've decided to turn it into a series of all four princesses. So Twilight
Okay.
was for Everfree Northwest, Celestia will be for BronyCon,
Hmm.
and Luna will likely be for next year's Equestrial A.
Okay.
And I'm not sure when I'll or which convention I'll be submitting Cadence to. I would love to
Hmm.
submit something that Brony can, but I don't
Well,
know how to get it up there.
if we want to go with the theme of Cadence, anything around February, middle of February would be good.
That is a good point. I
Valentine's
will
Day,
have to keep that
hearts,
in mind.
love, yeah. Yeah, that would fit with her theme, I think.
Mhm.
Of course, by then, season 4 will be released, and if M.A. Larson has his say, then they'll all be princesses by then.
All the ponies become alicorns.
Yeah.
I remember once, I think he tweeted something about like he and some of the other writers were tweeting fake season 4 spoilers on April Fool's Day.
Hmm.
That was just some of the greatest crap to ever surface Twitter.
Oh, yes.
I,
That
I
was
think
good.
my favorite one was Spike gets a date with Rarity because Twilight and the main six use the elements of eHarmony. I want that to happen. Somebody
Yes.
make it happen.
That would be funny. It would be nice after the entire series eventually is over if they just went back and just had a joke season.
Like an abridged season or something.
Well, yeah, just like,
Goofy
a
season.
what if season.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
What if they were all alicorns and everybody's just flying around and disappearing and poofing and that's
Well, I remember I was talking to somebody about the whole like Twilight Alicorn,
Mm,
is seen flying at the end of the episode,
mm.
so she was kind of my friend was kind of angry because she was like, she doesn't even have to learn to fly, she just knows automatically. That's like the dumbest thing. But then I don't know if you've seen Equestria Girls yet, but I mean, I guess it's not really spoilery. She kind of
No, go ahead.
tries
I
to
haven't seen
fly.
it, but the chance of it coming out in Japan is very low. So go
Yeah.
ahead. That's all right.
Yeah, she kind of like tries to fly in the air for like 2 seconds and falls over. So it's like, okay, so she doesn't know how to fly.
Mm,
So I'm hoping something will come up with that in the series, but I don't know.
could be.
That'd be kind of entertaining to
Yeah.
watch, you know,
Mm-mm.
Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy giving her flight lessons and it going horribly wrong.
Fluttershy giving lessons. Okay, first you fall down, and
It's
th-
okay.
then you wait until somebody makes fun of you, and you finally get the courage to stand up for yourself, and then you'll fly okay.
Rainbow Dash would just be like, "It's not that hard, dang it."
Just fly. What's the problem? That actually would be an excellent episode right there. Two really bad teachers just from different angles.
Hopefully, maybe they made it happen. Who knows?
Could be. Could be. That's a down thing about speculation is that eventually you're right, and then people get upset with you for spoiling it. I was
Hopefully not.
guessing. I didn't know.
I just don't know what went wrong.
Ah, well played. Something I have to mention, and I'm just noticing it now, but at least all of the more recent items that you have, um, you sign with a different font on every single DeviantArt piece you got.
Well, I mean, I do like to keep my pieces watermarked just for the sake of,
Of
because
course,
I
of
do
course.
have to sell them and whatnot. But I guess I don't want it to be something that's too distracting
Hmm.
from the rest of the piece.
Right.
So I try to be relatively consistent as far as style goes.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, like for instance, I have a couple of comic themed prints, one with the main six and one with villains. So I went with a font that's typically used when translating manga,
Okay.
and then the coronation print has a more regal, fancy font.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because I want it to not be too jarring.
Right.
It's just there to protect it from being printed out or whatever when I don't want it to.
Have you used Comic Sans at all?
No,
Okay, just checking.
no.
So that'll be the thing. The one time you decide that all right, this is it, this is the last thing, and I'm just going to be full out joking forever. Once you sign it in Comic Sans, that's it.
Maybe in a million years. I've actually had so I recently downloaded the Game Loft My Little Pony game
Oh
just
yes.
because the for the past couple days I have had my wrist in a brace because I've been cranking out a lot of new prints for BronyCon, and I've made 7 prints and 2 new character vinyl decals in like 2 days.
Oh man.
So nearly gave myself carpal tunnel, so I was like, okay, well now I'm forced to take a couple days off. What do I do with my
Yes.
time? So I got the
Right.
game, and I've been finding traces of Comic Sans in this game, and it's been angering me every
Well,
time
I
I
mean,
see it.
I have to say, Everfree Northwest. When I checked into the hotel, they gave me a special little card case. The credit cards to get into the rooms, whatever.
Mhm.
They had a little thing from Everfree Northwest welcoming me and thanking me, and the welcome was in Comic Sans.
I didn't see that. I don't
Mm-mm.
think I got one of those. So,
Yeah, yeah.
but
And I was looking at it going,
no,
hmm, I'm gonna
whoever did,
hope that it's just the hotel's doing, and
it's possible. Because I know for a fact our publications department would not have let that fly.
yeah. I didn't know if they were being ironically funny or just, I don't know.
If it was the hotel, I highly doubt it because I know in the lounge
Hmm.
they had a couple of, I think they had the Twilight Sparkle, the Pinkie Pie, and the Rainbow Dash drinks.
Oh,
And the
nice.
little menus they had up for that were in Comic Sans, and
Oh
I was
my.
just like, no.
Yeah. Yeah, I was able to go to the AFK Tavern, and I have to say, the Fluttershy Mai Tai is easily one of the best drinks I've ever had in my life. That was, man, I'm considering making another Seattle trip just for that thing. That was amazing. The Rainbow Dash, the Sonic Rain Boom was fun. That's a multi-layer drink that you drop into an energy drink and it fizzes and explodes up in a foam that you have to
Oh
drink
God.
immediately. Oh, it's fun, but just for taste, yeah, the Fluttershy Mai Tai was amazing.
I actually only just turned 21 like last Friday. No, not last, this past Friday, but the Friday before.
Oh, well, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, so every Friday I didn't get to try any of these pony drinks.
Right.
I was actually surprised that they didn't kick me out of the lounge when I was hanging out with a bunch of people. Like they're just like, just don't say anything.
Uh-huh.
Just don't say, because somebody else did. So I
Yeah.
was like, just please don't let them card me. I was only there to hang out
Mm-hmm.
because I happened to bump into some friends after dinner and I was like, hey. And
Yeah.
they're like, come over and sit with us. And I was like, okay. I don't think I'm allowed in there, but okay. It was funny though, because one of the waitresses or bartenders or whatever was like, hey, do you want anything? And I was like, no. I was just like, I'm no, not no.
Good for you. Yeah, I know that. I mean, I'm well past 21, but I guess just to be safe, they were at least 2 or 3 times they did card me. And I said, how's your Japanese? And I handed them my, foreigner identification card from Japan. They're like staring at it going, I'll take your word for it. I'm like, thank you. Well, another thing, I have to know the story behind this, or if there is one, or whatever. But the Derpy postage stamp,
Ah, that one. Let's
cute as
see.
heck. First
Thank
off,
you.
yeah, okay,
Let's see. Well, I didn't really. There's not really much of a story. It was
okay,
basically I had gotten the Rarity micro comic
right,
issue,
okay.
and they had the Derpy flyby in her male outfit, and I thought I was like, that's adorable. I need to make a print of that. And I decided to roll with the male theme, and I was like, well, how else can I bring this out? And I came up with like the postage stamp,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, that's brilliant. Let's do it.
Yes,
Thank you.
I. This could honestly be a thing at a con. If a con would get, I don't know, 5 people to dress in just a little, not even too much of it, just a mailbag, maybe a little hat and a little cross-eyedness if they can. Honestly, this could be a thing. Just have them go. You write a message, you pay a little bit of money, you get a derpy stamp. They send it. They give it to their derpy mailman, who then delivers it to the
The
other
wrong
person,
person
the person that you sent it to in the con.
or the wrong person
That
because it's
also would
Derpy
be
Mail.
funny. Yes, this could be a thing. This could honestly be a thing. Conventions.
I actually had a lot of people asking me, like, they were like, this should be an actual stamp. And I thought about it and I kind of looked into it a little bit,
Mm,
but it wouldn't really be worth my while just because of the expense.
yeah.
Because, I wouldn't be able to have them printed at base price or anything. I would be printing these stamps as if they were for me, and then I would have to sell them and then raise the price in order to gain any profit.
Right.
And on the top of that, it would be more of a novelty, if anything, because most people either wouldn't want to use it
Hmm.
or they just don't send mail through the actual mail
Yeah.
unless it's like, a package or something,
Right.
because most people just use email nowadays.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I figured it was a nice thought. I might make it into small stickers eventually, but I also don't know how well that drawing would do at such a tiny scale.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It might lose some of the effect at a small scale, but I think if you make it, I don't know, if you make it going on the length, if you make it the length of an envelope or slightly smaller,
Mhm.
then just whoever does write an envelope, stick that on the side.
That's possible. Like I said, I have to look into it a bit more.
Right,
I
right.
might, if anything, I would probably just make it into a sticker or something.
I think that'd be incredibly cute as a sticker. Yep. I think that
Thank
would
you.
sell. I think people would start writing letters just specifically to use that sticker. I haven't written a letter in a long time. I'm going to do this again. Well, a question that I ask in all of my interviews.
Mhm.
What would you say in all of My Little Pony? What is the one line or one scene that defines you as a brony?
Oh, don't make me choose.
Ha ha ha.
Uh, okay, let's see. Trying to think. Because I mean, I know there's mostly episodes that I can definitely identify with.
Sure.
Like I remember I was marathoning My Little Pony with one of my roommates once,
Mm.
and she was like, you remind me a lot of Applejack because I'm constantly working on stuff. I'm always busy,
Mm-hmm.
and I really just like work myself half to death at times with just so much that I have to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we get to the episode, I think it was Applebuck season. That
Right.
that is the title of it, yeah. It's
Yeah.
been
Yeah.
forever since I've seen season 1, so
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and it's, of course, the episode where Applejack works herself into exhaustion. And I was like, oh, I can see that. And then I didn't identify with Rarity as much early on,
Mm-hmm.
but then I could definitely identify with her being a fellow artist. And when I was doing the designs for Sac Brownie Expo's mascots,
Mm-hmm.
I had to deal with some of the other staff being like, change this, change that, like try this. And most of their ideas, no offense to them, were kind of terrible. Like one of them, somebody wanted a bear, like a California grizzly bear, to be one of the mascots, and I was like, no,
Bear.
I will quit because that's the dumbest idea I've ever heard. Well, it wasn't the dumbest idea I've ever heard, but it was
I
still not something I
the
would
only
want.
way I could see it is if you literally brought in Harry.
Right? Or just like they wanted two ponies and a bear, and I was like, that's kind of
Mm.
dumb, you guys.
I have to say, I mean, if you give me Bear, I'm thinking Yukon or yeah, I don't think California.
Yeah, but yeah, stuff like that. And then of course, then the mascots eventually revert back to very close to what their original designs were.
Sure.
And I was like, you see, even our con chair is like, you guys, it's getting to be like art of the dress. You're all gonna ruin these mascots if you keep pitching these ridiculous ideas.
What if it rains? Galoshes! No,
No,
mascots don't get galoshes. No.
no galoshes. No.
Whose mascot is this?
Oh
Streamers it
god.
is.
And of course, at the time too, I was kind of new onto their staff because their mascots were like my first assignment,
Okay.
and so I was still kind of low on the ladder too.
Right, right.
So I didn't have as much of a say at the time as I would now,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
being their current head of art and design now.
Sure.
And so oh god, it was a lot of just, I think those mascots were in development for like 2 months
Wow.
because I kept needed to getting them revised. I would have to make new sketches, get them,
Mm-hmm.
hear more complaints. God, it was
Okay.
ridiculous.
So we have Applebuck season and the art of the dress. Good
Yes.
combination. I'm just thinking about it now. I haven't seen anybody try to rework the songs, as in do art of the dress, but with Applebuck season. Like have Applejack singing about how she can't get all the apples and she won't accept Helmut. I would like to hear this. I would.
That would be interesting.
Mm.
As far as I remember, I know most of the episodes with songs in them use them as a way to get through a scene
Mm-hmm.
in the least amount of time, or, minimize exposition just to make it less boring or more exciting, or
Mm-hmm.
however.
Right. And I
So,
think rather effectively.
yeah, definitely effectively.
Those are good songs. Real earworms. They don't leave.
I still, oh god, oh crap, I can't tell you because you said no spoilers and you didn't watch the Comic Con clip, but there's this one. I'm sorry.
Is it
I
song related?
Yes, there is a song, and
Oh,
it's been
okay.
stuck in my head ever since. I'm sorry. I'm
That's
so
okay. That's
sorry.
that's enough. I mean, you're vague enough where I figured there'd be songs. I mean, Daniel Ingram is still on staff.
Yes. And apparently there's going to be a lot of songs next season. That's not spoilers. It's
No,
there
no, no,
being a
no.
lot
That's
of
okay.
songs
That's
next
okay.
season.
That's okay. Yeah.
I didn't tell you what the song's about.
Please don't.
I won't. I'm so sorry.
But I am looking forward to. Yeah, should be good. Actually, I mean, I haven't even heard the Equestria Girls song, and I've heard that one is really, really catchy as well.
It is. It
Okay.
definitely is. I'm looking forward to higher quality versions popping up, which should be soon because I guess they released the Blu-ray and DVD early at Comic-Con.
That's what it seems to be. Yeah.
So it should start popping up soon, which would also mean I would guess that we're going to be seeing more remixes and stuff soon, which is exciting.
Yeah. Yeah. I should actually check because I can legally get the DVDs,
Ooh.
which is odd because I shouldn't. Technically, I don't have. I mean, technically, they're not legally able to be shown outside of Region 1, which is America, but
Hmm.
I can get them, and I have a Region 1 DVD player, so
That works.
sorry.
If it helps, my TV in my apartment's from Australia. It was a, I guess I have, so my stepmom has cousins that were here living in the States from Australia, and they recently decided to move back.
Okay,
So they had to get rid of, most of their stuff that they couldn't ship back or anything.
sure.
So they knew I was moving into my new apartment. They're like, hey, do you need a TV? And I was like, hell yeah, I do. So it's this awesome TV, and it fit perfectly on the entertainment center that my other roommate brought, and we are like, yes, awesome. But then it was funny because then the cable guy came to set it up, and he was just like, I've never seen a TV with these sorts of outputs before. What is this? And I was like, oh, it's from Australia. And he just gives me the funniest look. He's like, how did you get a TV from Australia?
You should just act indignant. Like, what? You never seen Australian televisions before? They're highly superior.
It's like, and you don't have a TV from Australia?
That would be funny. Just start. No. I would say stop short of calling to complain at the company. Your people don't even know Australian televisions. What the heck's wrong with you? Don't do
It got set up just fine, but it
that.
was just really funny to see him react.
Yeah. I also see that I suppose is the Wheel of Fine contest has finished already, hasn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
I need to scrap that image in my gallery.
Sorry.
Because it's all right. I put that up for, just to be like, hey guys, I entered, but now it's kind of just waiting to hear results. It was supposed to be last week, and it's just like prolonging my disappointment. So they need to just hurry up and put me out of my misery.
I think
Yeah,
you have a good a chance as anyone.
I suppose I haven't heard anything from them, so I'm gonna assume I didn't win. But
Uh,
they have just been busy with Comic Con, so who knows?
sure. Yeah.
But I at first I was like, oh god, because the original winner announcement date was going to be a few days before my birthday.
Mm.
So I was like, oh gosh, is that a bad sign? Because for some reason I have some of the worst luck with my birthdays.
Okay.
I've gotten computer viruses on my birthday. I've
Uh,
gotten like horribly sick and stuck in bed on my
uh,
birthdays. So I wasn't kind of looking forward to the idea of
mhm.
contest
Right.
winners being announced like right before.
Okay. Okay.
And then of course they pushed it back, and I was like, okay, well, what's the date now? And it's on my birthday, and I was like, you got to be kidding me. That's even worse. But then they pushed it back even later, and I was just like, I think I can deal with this. But they keep pushing it back, and I'm just like, just just let me know. I need to know. The
Mhm.
suspense is killing me.
Well, we can hope. By the time this is aired, there's a decent chance they will have mentioned it. So
Yes,
we
they
can
did
hope so.
say on Twitter that they were going to announce it this week.
Okay.
So I'm going to assume that they're all just kind of unraveling from Comic Con, and then they'll be posting within in the next like couple days or so. But
Sure. Sure.
definitely
Well,
soon.
yeah. Well, let's see. You're going to be at BronyCon, which,
Yeah,
as the release of this, will be very soon, if not past already. I'm sorry, I'm not 100% sure of
hopefully
my.
before.
Well, I'm not 100% sure of my show schedule right now, so I'm not sure. But there's a good
Yes.
chance this will be released either right before or right after BronyCon. Sorry, I know it's been a week and a half, but I am still unraveling from Everfree Northwest.
Oh, don't worry. In fact, I've been so busy working on artwork. I'm just kind of like, it's only been a week and a half.
Yeah, I think a big part was that I got back and literally was able to sleep, then wake up and go to work.
Yeah.
So and my weekend was, well, quite literally, I just did an all day outside camp with the kids. So I haven't had 2 days off in a row since before Everfree Northwest.
Yeah. I definitely feel you on that one. It was basically like get back from Everfree, maybe take like one day to just unwind, and then it's like, okay, back to work, time to make a bunch of stuff before BronyCon.
Well, I'll mention it real fast just because I already know the answer, but I think the response was funny. If somebody were to request a request or a commission, what's your answer right now?
Currently, no. I'm way too busy. In fact, I've had a couple people, send me messages on DeviantArt and stuff, be like, "Hey, do you take requests?" And it's like, I don't do free art because I don't even have time to do free art for myself.
Hmm, hmm,
So the other day I posted to Twitter, I think it was just yesterday actually,
hmm.
or well, by the time this airs, it'll
Yeah.
be,
Okay.
a
Yeah.
while.
Right. Right.
But I did this really doodle, like just quick doodle of myself as a pony, just like stressed as crap and like just like no in large scribble letters, just like no.
Yep. That is a good way to respond.
Yeah.
No.
It makes me happy that people like my artwork enough that they, want me to draw for them. It's just
True.
that
True.
I don't have the time.
Yes.
And I mean, I used to take commissions at cons, but I found myself getting too busy, and then I wouldn't really be able to enjoy much of the con outside of the vendor hall
Hmm.
because, the vendor hall would close. I would have to go have dinner, and that's like, oh, well, I have, commissions to do. I can't do anything fun.
Sure. Sure.
Well, not that commissions, weren't fun, but
Right. Yeah.
like at Everfree, I think Friday I took commissions,
Hmm.
and then later that evening I went to dinner with a bunch of people, and then of course I didn't get back until like midnight.
Mm.
So, and then I had to get
Then you
up the
have to,
next morning.
yeah, and then you have to stay up even later doing stuff and no
Right.
sleep and.
Yeah. So like for instance, uh because of how late I got in on day 0, uh I got maybe 2 hours of sleep
Oh Lord.
before setup
Oh wow.
on Friday because I had to, arrange all my stuff, and then it's like then of course one of my roommates was telling me and Chaotic Brony, because he was also staying
Hmm.
in the hotel with us.
Right.
He was like, "You guys need to actually eat." So it's like, because us artists, we get so busy sometimes that we forget to eat.
I understand
Like he
that.
had to
Yeah.
drag us off to Denny's.
And real fast, for the record,
Yes.
I know a lot of people complain that Denny's might have been the only place close to the Everett. I tell you what, I haven't had turkey in so many years. I was almost weeping with joy at the turkey sandwich at Denny's that I was able to enjoy. So I will
Yeah.
not take any more hatred of Denny's. It was a wonderful breakfast and great turkey sandwiches all the time.
I love Denny's. I mean, it's cheap food and it's all right. I only ate there the one night though,
Mm.
because then when I went to dinner on Friday, I went to Cheesecake Factory, and
Oh,
then
nice.
yes, it was delicious. Oh my
Hmm,
gosh.
hmm.
And then I think the next day I ate at the hotel or something, and then Sunday, of course, I had to fly home. But
Right.
it
Yeah.
was, yeah. So I would
I
get
know
back
it
hella
doesn't
late,
sound like
and then
much, but I looked forward to and was not disappointed by Jack in the Box.
oh gosh, that reminds me. Every time I have a friend visiting from out of California,
Mm.
they always demand that I take them to In-N-Out Burger because it's like a California thing, and
Hmm.
just everybody loves it for some reason. I mean, I like it too. It's just I don't get what the big massive deal is, but it's like okay.
I enjoy In and Out, but and I know I'm gonna get flack for this. Honestly, put side by side, I will take Jack in the Box every day. I really will. The curly fries just kick so much butt. Taco Bell did not live up to my memory expectations. I
Mm,
enjoyed it, but it was like, I remember it being better. But Jack in the Box, oh yeah, this is good stuff.
but yeah, ever
Hmm.
free like just cons in general. I don't get as much sleep as I want to because I'm
Sure.
always busy, like hanging out with people, or in this case, doing commissions on that day. Like, so 2 hours of sleep before Friday, and then I think Saturday I was running on 4 hours, and then the next day I was running on five.
Oh man, not enough.
Right.
Not enough by far. I
So that was why I stopped taking commission.
yes. Did you get any flack for it? Did anybody just start calling you? Why won't you take my commission?
Oh no, people
No.
are
Okay,
totally understanding about it.
that's
So
good. That's good.
yeah, and it wasn't like I mean, I would just say like, "Oh, I'm sorry," but although there was this one person that was a little disappointed that I was only, because when I did take commissions on Friday, it was only for sketches
Hmm.
because I made the mistake of doing color commissions at Equestria LA, and I got even more loaded down with work and
Sure.
was even more tired.
Yeah.
But they wanted me to draw these OCs that were made to be deliberately terrible. So they had some of the worst color combinations I've ever seen. They're just like eye bleeding kind of
Oh,
worthy.
right.
And but because, the colors kind of were a huge part of the character, they didn't end up commissioning me, which I totally understood.
Yeah.
But oh god, they were definitely a sight.
I th- I would like to see a bad OC competition at some point.
Oh god. That would be the greatest thing.
I mean, there are lots of wonderfully designed OCs, and I think some of them are just beautiful and wonderful to look at, and love the backstory and stuff. But I would like to see a bad OC competition at some point. I think it would
Oh
be
gosh.
hilarious.
That would be hilarious.
Hmm.
Bonus points for people that actually draw it well and don't just be like, here's a scribble.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, like done as if they were really designing an OC. Just yeah, it comes out horribly.
Yeah. Like I remember I actually had a art assignment for one of my classes, I think last year,
Hmm.
and my teacher was trying to get us to think outside the box,
Okay.
quote unquote. He
Yeah.
wasn't the greatest teacher,
Mm-hmm.
but he told us to draw the ugliest thing that we could imagine, and I was like, well, everybody's gonna turn in scribbles.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna actually try, and I turned in this like digital painting of this thing that was like Nigel Thornberry crossed with Naruto, crossed with really big, huge, bad, terrible anime eyes,
Wow.
uh, and wearing a shirt that said Gamer Girl, and his like just everything was
Oh yes, I
terrible.
have seen that picture. That's I think you
Oh yeah.
titled it "Not sure if Ugu or just plain smashing."
Yes. That would be it.
That's beautiful.
With the Mona Lisa background.
That yeah. What did the teacher say? Anything?
He said it was too good to be considered ugly.
What?
Too well made, rather.
What?
Yeah, that was kind of, and the thing is, that was my first assignment from him,
Hmm.
so I kind of held a grudge
Yeah.
because the rest of the term went kind of just as like badly, where like he would be like giving us assignments, and
Hmm.
I would be trying to, think differently from everybody else
Right.
and turn in assignments that I really worked hard on and stuff. And then he would always, he would never like anything I turned in. So I was like, okay, whatever.
I noticed
Then,
the
then he
ramen
gets
noodle
this.
one.
Yes, he didn't like that one either. Uh,
What?
or actually, I don't know if he liked it or not. He was kind of also vague. If he liked something, he didn't say it outright.
Okay.
Except for this one thing that he told us to make an abstract piece that referenced something without directly being that object. So
Okay.
I went with Mickey Mouse. I don't know if you saw that one, but I
Nope.
literally just plopped three black circles by spacing them apart,
Uh
so
huh.
they're not, totally like Mickey Mouse silhouette.
Right. Right.
Red background with two
Oh
yellow,
yes, yes, I did see that. Okay.
two
Yeah.
yellow ovals for the shorts,
Right.
and he was totally all over that one. So I was like, okay, that literally took me 10 minutes, but you don't like the painting that I spent, 4 hours on or 6 hours or whatever. My God. Everybody, for the record, everybody
Mm.
did turn in scribbles. I think the winning quote unquote drawing
Hmm.
was this thing that had like a picture of Nicolas Cage taped onto it and a bunch of highlighter scribbles and crayon. And I was like, are you serious? That didn't require any freaking thought at all.
That's yeah. At least if you're going to do something poorly, do it poorly on purpose with thought put into it.
Right.
Make it worth somebody's effort to know that you did poorly.
Well, he said to draw the ugliest thing we could imagine, not the worst drawing you've ever come up with.
Okay, okay.
Because I figured, well, terribly made and ugly are not the same thing.
Right, absolutely. Yes.
So,
Uh,
uh, it was really funny too. I think I submitted that to a blog known as Socially Unacceptable Art, and they loved it.
okay.
It went around Tumblr for a little bit, and I was like, oh god, what have I done?
So we can expect to see prints of that for BronyCon, right?
Oh no, no. Well, I actually had a couple people that were like, you should make prints of it, but
Okay.
I don't think people would actually buy it.
No, no, I think that's the kind of thing they'd say, "Wow, that's cool," and walk by.
Right, because I mean, I've seen this with humorous prints and stuff a lot from other artists. It's like you go and you see it, you think, oh, that's hilarious,
Hmm.
but you don't buy it.
Yeah.
And, I hate to sound like a jerk that is only in it for the money or anything, which I mean, I'm totally not. I do what I do because I love it.
Right.
Uh, but I'm not going to spend the money to have it printed out on like
Hmm.
the nice cardstock and all that jazz,
Hmm.
only to have it not sell because
Yeah.
people think it's funny, but not, funny enough to pay
There's a
for.
difference between doing something because you love it and spending a lot of money doing something. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
It's on DeviantArt. I mean, it's right there. People can look at it. That's what you did
Yes.
because you love it. Actually
Yes.
spending the effort and money to get it printed out so people can buy it? No, not if it's not going to sell. No.
Yes.
Mhm. All right.
Like, I mean, with a lot of my prints,
Mm,
I do try and go for things that haven't been done before. Like, I
sure.
mean, the comic prints or the Gurren Lagann inspired series. I mean, I know there's other artists that kind of like UC77 is fantastic.
Hmm.
Uh, that it is influenced by a lot of like anime like that and stuff, but
Sure.
things that I haven't myself seen, at the time when I made those prints, I didn't know about him.
Mm.
So it was really funny. I got asked a bunch of times at EQLA and they were like, "Are you the person that runs Hot Blooded Pinkie Pie?" I was like, "He's a few tables down that way." That was the only reason why they asked was that print set. But but yeah, and like the derpy postage stamp, another thing I hadn't seen before. Like
Hmm.
I like to try and play around with ideas
Sure.
and even more so if I can sell them.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Nothing's wrong with that.
Well, it's a huge compliment when people do, buy prints of my work and stuff
Right.
because it's like they like my artwork enough to put it on their wall or I mean,
Hmm.
have had people had their stuff signed by voice actors and stuff, and I'm just like,
Nice.
you could have picked anything else in this vendor hall or official merchandise and stuff, but you picked my artwork. Let me hug you.
Nice. That is good. Uh, okay, so people should be on the lookout for you at BronyCon if it hasn't happened
Yes,
already.
and
And are there other cons you're planning on attending?
yes, for
Okay.
the rest of the year, I will most likely be selling at SAC Anime, but I probably won't be there in person because I
Okay.
have a class that I
Right.
need to take, and it kind
Sure.
of just sort of happened. And even though I'd already paid for my table and stuff, but I'll be sharing with somebody else that agreed on to sell on my behalf. But
Okay. That's
then the following, or 1 or 2 weeks later, I think is SAC Brony Expo,
hmm.
so I'll be there.
Okay.
I mean, I have to be. I'm not gonna put all this artwork into a convention then not get to go.
Right.
I will
Yes.
make sure I'm there.
Yeah.
And then I will be at Nightmare Nights
Oh,
in
okay.
Dallas, Texas,
Nice.
because I just paid for my vendor table for that, so I'm excited.
Yay.
Woo!
That's as close to set in stone as a person can get at this point.
Right.
I paid for my table.
Yes. Well, I mean, I never book a flight until I know that the badge and hotel and table are, locked in. So,
Sure. Sure. Very nice. Well, everybody, today we have been speaking with LeekFish. Thank you so much for coming by.
thank you.
Everyone, this has been Into the Spotlight with Osaka.